Are you eligible for energy assistance? We're discussing that in this edition of WJTS Inform. I'm your host, Bill Potter. Joining me in the studio is Neil Elkins. He is the Housing Services Director for TRICAP. Neil, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, Bill, for having me in.
Well, we're glad to have you because we're going to be talking about something that some people may not realize they qualify for or may not realize they should take advantage of it, and that is energy assistance, which is basically what, first of all?
Energy assistance is a program that helps low-income families with their utility bill. It's considered a heating program by the state of Indiana, so the program runs from October 1st to the middle of May. And runs to the middle of May because a lot of people get their biggest bills around February, March, April, and that period after the winter period. So it helps kind of subsidize what they're presently paying on their utility bill. It's a one-time benefit that goes directly to their utility company to be able to pay their bills.
So is it like a certain amount of money that goes and then it's used by their energy bills, or is it they get so much a month?
No, they just get, it's a one-time benefit. So if their benefit, as an example, $475, let's say, it varies by family size. That $475 is sent from the state of Indiana to the utility company, applied to their bill. They may use it in a month, they may use it in 3 months, but it's there. We also supply that assistance for people that are on bulk fuels such as propane, so they can get a propane delivery to their home. They get a little bit bigger benefit if they're on propane because you cannot, $475 does not cover a propane delivery.
Right.
They can get up to $400 additional to go towards that delivery, or if they're in wood, they heat with wood, we call it biofuels with pellet programs and kerosene and some of the other things. Those, we have vendors that we put that money on their account, and then they can get a delivery of wood or pellets, or they can go to the hardware store and pick up pellets through the vending program, and we send a check directly to them.
And this isn't necessarily paying 100% of their bill, it's paying a good portion of it.
Yeah, it's really just a subsidy, I would probably put it, to reduce that burden, on an annual basis. And as people come in too, we see people with very high bills, and we question as to why their bills are very high and higher than normal, and we'll refer them to our weatherization program, which I think we've covered it here a month or two ago here. For one of our energy auditors to go out and look at the home and look at the reasons for those utility bills. They may need weatherization, they may need a new furnace or something like that. And with the program, we're able to replace that furnace if it's faulty or not working properly. We've done, I think, 5 in the past month. We did about 15 last year. We can also, one thing that is becoming more common is that we have a lot of seniors that heat with wood, and they can no longer carry that wood into the basement and things like that. In that case, if it's we can also replace the furnace with a gas or an electric furnace and help them with that through this energy assistance program.
So the energy assistance program is going to lead to some better things for them.
Correct, yes, and we spend a lot of time looking at the client's application and thinking what else can benefit this person in the long run. That could be referring them to job employment programs. It could be the weatherization program. That's probably our most frequent one. If they need home repairs or there's some issues going on there, we work with the USDA and some other local programs to try to help that client. It isn't just we hand them a check or some money and we move on. We look at that client as a family and as a group and what's going to help them in the long run.
So really, you're here to help them pay their electric bill or their heating bill, gas bill, whatever it may be, or wood bill, as you mentioned.
Wood bill.
Which is interesting. Now, I guess the important thing for folks watching is, well, who qualifies? How do I know I qualify?
Well, you do have to come to TRICAP and fill out an application. We also have them on our website, tricap.net. We have the application. You go to the state site, really just Google Energy Assistance Program, and there's a statewide application available. So you can do it online, through the mail, in person. We've made it very accessible for people to be able to apply. To be eligible, there is an income category. For a single person, it's $24,000 a year family for, it's around $46,000 that you can earn and still be a part of the program. One thing that the state has changed with the income categories is that they're taking the last 3 months worth of income, taking it times 4. How's that? It's helped people that have winter layoffs, or they've lost their job, or they have a medical emergency and not able to work anymore. We can really look at their current situation versus what they made last spring or last summer, and that, in most cases, that money's gone. And so we're able to analyze a little bit better their current situation and help them out from that point. Plus, being a part of the program, a lot of the utilities offer discounts or special privileges to energy assistance clients. So,
do a lot of seniors qualify that may not even realize it?
I would guess that just about anybody on Social Security is going to qualify. I've never seen anybody make too much on Social Security to be eligible for this program. I think there's usually about a 3 to 5% increase in the allowable income annually, but Social Security is not advancing at that level. I think it was 1.5 last year. A couple of years ago, it was 0. So if you're on Social Security, most of the time you are going to be eligible for the program.
Now, somebody like a senior sometimes are very proud, and they don't want. I don't want a handout. You don't need to help me.
There's so many programs that are designed to help seniors because of the Social Security situations, where the increases aren't there, and it's not a lot of money in a lot of cases. So these programs have become available to kind of supplant or help that a little bit. So they need to take advantage of them. It's like getting an increase in your benefits and your income is how we look at it. There's another $500 to my income this year. Because I got in this program or that program. Take advantage of it. They're afraid of taking money away from somebody else. They're not. The money is there. It's available for them. The state of Indiana does not spend that money. It goes to another state, and those states will spend it because they may have more liberal usage of the program than what we do, because every state has some income requirements that are different and eligibility requirements. So.
And you really need to apply now, because there's only so much money that's available. Once it's gone, it's gone.
Yes, I've been with the program 9 years. We've never run out of money, but this year we could.
Okay.
The federal government is holding back about 10% of our funds right now, not release them to the state of Indiana. Usually they do it by the 1st of January. So we're hoping that another amount will come forward. We've administered almost $700,000 in funds in Du Bois, Pike, and Warwick County so far. That's about 1,300 applicants. We expect another 100 to 200 applicants over the next couple months. So.
And I'm glad you mentioned, because it's tri-cap. You're serving several counties.
Correct. Yes.
And again, those counties are
Du Bois, Pike, and Warwick counties.
Okay.
In surrounding counties, Lincoln Hills Development handles like Spencer County and Perry County. Every county in the state is covered by a CAP agency, a Community Action Program agency, that administers this program. So there's not an area that isn't covered.
Okay. And this is this part of TRICAP, or is this something that TRICAP has chosen to offer?
It is.
Is that an odd question?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's something that what the state does. They have the program and they administer it to certain contractors. So we're a contractor for the state of Indiana. Okay. We didn't get $700,000.
Okay.
We process the applications. We submit them to the state for the payment. And the state actually makes those payments either to the individual or to the utility, depending on the situation. Some people that have the utilities included in their rent will receive the check directly because there's no utility bill to pay. But
Well, I'm glad you brought that, because I was going to ask you, is this only for homeowners, or what if somebody's in a rental situation?
yeah, they're eligible as a renter. They're eligible as a homeowner. There does have to be someone in the home over the age of 18 that's a Indiana resident with Social Security number and showing income. And sometimes there's zero income if they've had a health emergency and been off for a while. But it is eligible as long as there is one family member over the age of 18 that is able to produce a photo ID and a Social Security card.
Wow, what a wonderful program that people may not realize is there. And you want, as the facilitator, that's really all you guys do, is you're just kind of the ones that process the the paperwork, I guess, in a way.
There's several hundred people in these 3 counties that are eligible for it every year that never apply, or they may not know about it. A lot of our referrals will come from utility companies where someone has had an emergency, they can't pay their utility bill, and the utility company will refer them to us and say, hey, try this program out. And we have several new clients every year through that program. And I look at their application, and I look at their history, and I think, they should have been on this for 10 years or, at least 5 years or something, because they've always been eligible for it, but never applied till they got in trouble. I mean, the idea of the program is we started administering it in October, and the reason is we want people to get that assistance before they get to that point of a disconnect or behind in their bill where they're paying penalties or running without utilities. I had somebody that was been without utilities for 30 days last week, and he'd been eligible for this program for at least the last 5 years.
Wow.
He's working here locally, he had a job, but he was had a medical emergency and was off. Worked for about 6 weeks, but even when he was fully employed, he still qualified for the program.
And for this program, they simply need to contact you, and you'll help them fill out paperwork. Is there something they will need to supply you with?
Utility bill.
Okay.
And we need Social Security cards for each person in the home. If they don't have a Social Security card, a lot of times they get that through their W-2. They can get it off of their Social Security awards letter or some other form. We've even had children where people have lost their Social Security card. We can if we get a notice from the school that lists their Social Security numbers, we'll find a way.
Okay.
Or we can also give them assistance in applying for a new card. So.
And one thing to remember, it's available.
Yes.
You just got to take advantage of it, is really what it comes down to.
Yeah, and this is we've probably, at this point, processed probably 80 to 90% of the applications. Beginning of the year, the application process is slow. It takes maybe 60 days to get that benefit. Right now, we can usually turn them around in the same day. And things have kind of slowed from the flow standpoint. But we have our offices in Boonville and Jasper. We have full-time people available there to assist them. Biggest thing I can say is if you have an emergency, obviously come in and apply, but the first thing you want to do is communicate with your utility company. Let them know I've been laid off from work or I had this issue. I'm not going to be able to pay my bill. We found that local utility companies are very good with working with people that have these type of emergencies to put them on a payment plan, reduce, extend, their time that their disconnect time. Instead of disconnecting tomorrow, they may wait a couple weeks till TRICAP is able to figure their benefit, and if they're not eligible for the benefit when they apply for us because they may be over income, we have resources that we can shift them to be able to assist. As long as that client is working to take care of that bill, I don't know a utility company that's out there disconnecting. Yeah. So, but when they don't call their utility company or they ignore the mail and the phone calls, that's when they get disconnected.
Sure, that would make sense.
So we just say first thing we tell them if they're in disconnect, call your utility company and tell them your situation. Tell them you're coming to TRICAP or you have an appointment or you've picked up an application. And they're very, very good about working with people. They're human beings, as you and I are, and they don't want to disconnect a family this time of year.
Well, you can be superheroes. All they really need to do is contact you, right, Neil,
Correct.
at the TRICAP?
Yes.
Either through email or by giving you a call. Better yet, just stop by the office.
Yes, and all of our staff is trained to help them through the application process. So.
Yeah. Neil, thank you very much for coming in. Hope you learned something about energy assistance. Make sure that you check into it because you may qualify and not even realize it. Our guest has been Neil Elkins. He's the Housing Services Director for TRICAP. I'm Bill Potter on 18 WJTS. We're local people watching local people.